Hey everyone, Melanie Muenchinger here, illustrator for Gina K Designs. Today I have a new clean and simple project for you that I'm super excited about using my triple play frame stamp set. So the frame in triple play, this came out about a year ago I guess, but it never occurred to me to do this until the other day, and I'm really excited because it opens up a lot of possibilities for this frame. I have all these small images that can be showcased in these round windows. This particular frame, the lines and borders on this, it has a very contemporary feel with the small circles. But today what we're going to be doing, excuse me, is just inking up a portion of this frame. That's called the omission technique, when you are omitting the part you don't want, using just the part that you do want, and it's going to create this open space on your cards that you can fill in with any images that you want. Now you know that I love using flowers, and they always work really well in this kind of configuration because they can be like a branch or a border climbing through. But now that you have this border on this side and on this side, again, it's going to work as a four-way sketch that you can use portrait or landscape style. So on this particular card, this is the one I'm going to be making today, I used the dogwood flower from my most recent Stately Flowers 10 set, but any other flowers will work, large flowers. This is one that I did with the Magnolia from my Stately Flowers 3 set. So you can see I turned the frame here, so I've got them on the left on this side and the right on this side. I love this big flower. And then I just used one of the smaller flowers here to fill in that layout. I just thought that looked a little bit better and more fuller and showy. So I apologize for the staining that you see on the bottom of these cards. After I photographed the thumbnail that you see on the video, I spilled a glass of wine on my desk. So, oops, I might need to come back and spill some on this side tonight so that I have it balanced out, or do a little watercolor wash or something. But anyway, let's get started. We've got really minimal supplies for this particular card. Obviously, you're going to need that Stately Flowers 10 or another floral image and the triple play frame stamp sets from Gina K Designs. This is the new 4x6 block that Gina is carrying. It has grid lines on it, which makes it really easy to line up sentiments, and all of my frames and Teresa Momber's new frames fit perfectly on this block. So I've been using the 6x6 block now for, I don't know, 7 years or however long it is now that I've been doing frame stamps. And I really like it. It's worked well for me, but this is much easier because I can grip it with one hand if I need to. The 6x6, you really kind of have to hold like this if your hands are smaller like mine. So I'm really excited about having less weight, less stress on my hands and on my wrists. And I just want to say really quickly, and we'll get into the card, thank you so much for all your concern, support, comments, prayers, and suggestions about what I can do for my hands. I'll keep you updated with what's going on, but today I'm feeling pretty good, and I have looked into a lot of the things that you've suggested, so thank you so much. That really means a lot to me. Also going to be using some pencils on this card. I have a lot of people ask about pencils. I really prefer watercoloring or markers just because it goes so much more quickly, and you know that I really like to work quickly when I'm doing my crafting because I don't have a lot of time. But the pencils, if you're just using a few, this is a good way to go. It really pops on craft cardstock. So I'm using the Spectrum Noir Essentials, and you just need a white, brown, and green pencil. So out of this collection, I've got the 001, the 111, and then the 047. If you want to use different shades of green and different shades of brown, what I'm doing though is just using the two colors, and then we're going to build to have light and dark just by differing the pressure, and that's something that's really nice about pencils. I'm using the Memento Tuxedo Black ink pad, but you could also use the Gina K Black Onyx or any black pad that you want. Since we're not using a watercoloring medium, you don't have to worry about it smearing. And then I've got a medium-sized block that that dogwood is going to fit on. And then our card base, this is the Gina K Pure Luxury Craft cardstock. Love this cardstock. It's great for single layer cards, and then the white really pops on it. So this is 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored at 5 1/2. And we will score, or excuse me, I will fold that score after we do the stamping. So let's begin. I am going to just turn this over, and I'm going to take the pad, and I'm just going to carefully ink up the one side. And you can get as close up to the edge as you want. What you can also do is kind of plan out your flowers before and lay them over it to see if you want a little bit more room in that gap. But really, depending on the way that you angle the flower and the stem, it should be fine and work with pretty much anything. So just omitting that border, and if you're worried about getting it on the edges, you can cover it up with some tape or a Post-it note and then pull it off. Okay. So I'm just going to check it in the light. That looks good to me. I think this time I'm going to go the other way on the design. Maybe we'll do a landscape style card today just so that you can see that. So I'm just placing this over the card base. I'm not measuring anything, but the grid lines make it really easy for me to see where I'm stamping and that it's square on that front. And when I see that it's got about 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch around on each side, I'm just going to drop it down and press all over. Okay, so you can sketch these lines if you want with a pen. You could use a ruler. The sketch look is going to be a really fun, different style, but it's just so nice having these two borders that are going to really kind of ground and give structure to your card and really, really highlight those images and make the card look a lot fancier than it would otherwise be. All right, so now I'm going to take my dogwood. And I might just go ahead and stamp it this way just because I find it a little bit easier. Excuse me. Okay, so we're going to lay one in this way. And then we're going to lay one in. So see how you can go outside and use the thicker part and have it not come in as much, or you can move to the skinnier part of the image and go like that. All right. And another thing I really love about this set is I've got two different butterflies that you can use. So I think we're going to use the big butterfly on this one. The other one I used the small glass wing. All right, so we're just going to ink this up all over, or you can ink it with the stamp base hook. Excuse me, if that's easier for you. All right. So I'm just going to lay this in. And if it doesn't fit exactly, I'm not going to worry about that. You can take your pen and go up to the edge if you want, or just leave it open. I think it gives it just a really nice, loose, artistic feel if the border doesn't match exactly. Just suggested border. Okay, and then we'll do that other side. Turn this. Okay, so it's going to look a little bit different going the other way. I kind of want it going this way, I think. That's going to fit right in there. Okay. So this time, I used a little bit more of the flower, and I don't have that open space in between the blossoms. Let me show you the original one. So you see how that one came out a little bit differently just because of the way that I positioned it. So if you want your greeting in the middle, just back it off a little bit. But I would wait to do the greeting until after you stamp the flowers. Gosh, I love that. I mean, that looks like one continuous stamp. That's so pretty. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to use this big butterfly here, and I'm going to have it lighting on this flower right there. So just right there. Okay. And then there are several greetings in these set. We've got thank you, happy birthday, birthday blessings, blessings. So let's do, you could also put your greeting up here. You could do it down here. I think I'm going to do it, what do I want to do? Give me a second to decide what I want to do. I think I'm going to do happy birthday. But thank you on the first one. Okay. I'm going to get my greeting lined up in the block, and then I'm just going to put this down here, the corner, and then the little happy is actually in script, so stamp that just above it. Okay, all right, so now let's get to our coloring. Doesn't this card look so different? Okay. All right, so that's all the stamping that we're going to do. Now I'm going to start with my white pencil, and I'm just going to fill in these dogwoods. And, you know, if you want to be more precise and make sure just every little bit of that petal is colored, you can. But what I'm doing is I'm just scribbling this in and making sure that I'm going in the direction of those veins that you see on the leaves. If you don't have a white pencil, I would suggest that you look at another one of my videos that I've done with one of the Stately Flowers set, and it was on craft cardstock as well. It's one of my most popular videos. It's called the whitewash technique, and you do that on craft paper, but you use a white pigment ink pad and embossing and pencils, and it just turns out so pretty. So I will link that one for you below, and that's just another example of some white flowers that you can do on craft cardstock. And you can use Spectrum Noir, you could use Prismacolors. I've got some Faber-Castell pencils that work just as well. The Prismacolors, I would say, have the creamiest laydown, and you apply the least amount of pressure to get the most colors, but as you can see, this works just fine. It's maybe a little more translucent. Almost done here. And then I think I'm going to put just a little bit on this butterfly here. And I'm pressing a little bit harder here because I want this to look just a little more opaque. Okay. Then we're going to go in and let's just do, I'm going to swirl some green into these centers. And then just do a little bit of green on these leaves. So I'm just applying one layer right now, just real softly to get a soft spring green on the leaves. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to put in just another layer, going a little darker to just add some shading onto those little berries or seeds in the center. And then on the underside, just where you see the little contour lines in the leaves, just to give it some depth. And then finally what I want to do with this, I'm going to put just a little bit over that white, and this is just going to make it look more alive, just that touch of spring green. It's just going to freshen it up and make them not look as flat. So hopefully you can see this on the video. Make it as dark as you like, but it's just giving more of a rounded appearance and really making it look like a plant instead of a flat drawing. And then finally we're going to do just our stems here, or the tree branch. So I'm doing just very lightly on the branch on each side. And I don't know if you're picky about going off the edge of a single layer card on the back, but what you could do that would be pretty, you could even stamp, sorry for kind of thread jacking my own video, but you can even stamp that and have that continue onto the back. I think I'm going to do that. And then that's just kind of fun for when the person flips it over and sees your name. And then I'm doing the same thing as I did with the leaves, just to add just a little bit more shading with the dark brown pencil. Now let's do some on the butterfly here. I don't want to forget about him, although this is a glass wing, so it's a mainly see-through butterfly, but I decided just to tie him into the coloring of the flowers. So I used the green and the brown. I didn't look up any particular butterfly for this. I just made him up as far as my coloring goes. I did draw this one from nature. Let's put in just a little bit more white. And you can lighten up some of the areas with the white pencil, so that's really nice for adding little highlights if you want to. And then I think I just want to make some of it a little bit darker. Let me go back in and just take a few areas. You could even mix these together. Put some of the green over the brown. Okay. And if you notice what I did on the Magnolia card, here I actually colored in my border. So if you want to do that, that's an option for you as well. You could do that with the brown, the green, the white, or even another color. So this is kind of more like a tone on tone without the white. So I'll just go ahead and fill this in just a hint of white, and that's kind of suggesting another layer on my card. If you want to go in with a gray pencil and you want to trace these images, the underside, to add a little bit of a shadow effect. But I'm not going to do that here because I'm thinking of it really more as like a scene rather than the branches laying on a table. I hope you enjoy this project and it gives you ideas for the different ways that you can use that triple play frame. And also check out all of my stately flower sets, but I really invite you to think about other things that you could put within this border. One thing that I meant to do that I forgot about, but I will point it out now, another thing that I'd really like to try with this is to maybe stamp something here and then use one of the words. So for instance, grab one of those words there. Let's say the blessings. This will fit right in that border. So you don't necessarily have to have an image coming through it. You could use that as a way to highlight your sentiments. And again, that's going to work on either side. Thank you for watching my video today. Please visit my blog, Hands, Head, and Heart, for more ideas and inspiration using all of our stamp sets from Gina K Designs, and visit us and subscribe on Stamp TV. I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching today. God bless.